Let's talk about something that might be sitting in your refrigerator right now. Something you've been eating for decades without a second thought. But what if I told you that after 65, your body processes protein completely differently? That the meat choices you've been making could be silently affecting your health in ways you never imagined? I'm not here to scare you. I'm here to share what decades of nutritional science has uncovered about how our bodies change as we age. Because here's the truth. Your 65-year-old body isn't processing food the same way your 35-year-old body did. And that matters a lot. When I first started researching senior nutrition, I was shocked. The same foods that might be perfectly fine for younger adults can trigger completely different reactions in seniors. It's not about good or bad foods. It's about understanding how your unique body responds to them now. Think about it. Have you noticed changes in your digestion? Maybe foods that never bothered you before suddenly cause discomfort. Or perhaps you've experienced unexplained inflammation, fatigue, or brain fog. These aren't just random symptoms of getting older. They might be directly connected to what's on your plate. The protein paradox is real. As we age, we actually need more protein to maintain muscle mass. Yet many traditional protein sources become harder to digest or may introduce compounds that our aging bodies struggle to process efficiently. Let me share something personal. My father, at 72, was experiencing mysterious joint pain and fatigue. His doctors ran tests, prescribed medications, but the breakthrough came when he changed his protein sources. Within weeks, his energy returned and the pain diminished. It wasn't magic. It was simply working with his body instead of against it. So what's really happening when you bite into that bacon at breakfast or enjoy that steak dinner? What silent conversations are taking place between your food and your cells? And more importantly, how can you make protein choices that support your health rather than compromise it? Today we're diving deep into the science of senior nutrition, specifically the meats that might be sabotaging your health. And the protein sources that could help you thrive well into your golden years. No hype, no fad diets, just practical information you can use starting with your very next meal. Are you ready to discover how simple changes to your protein choices could dramatically impact how you feel every day? Because what you'll learn in the next few minutes might completely transform your approach to eating after 65. Let's start with the uncomfortable truth. Not all protein sources are created equal, especially for aging bodies, and some of the most common meats in the American diet deserve a closer look. First on our list, processed meats. Those convenient deli slices, hot dogs, and yes, that crispy bacon you might love. Here's why they're problematic after 65. They're typically loaded with sodium, preservatives like nitrates and nitrites, and have been linked to increased inflammation. The World Health Organization hasn't minced words, classifying processed meats as Group 1 carcinogens, the same category as tobacco smoke. But it's not just about cancer risk, it's about how these meats affect your daily life. The high sodium content can exacerbate hypertension and water retention, both common challenges for seniors. The preservatives can trigger inflammatory responses that worsen joint pain and cognitive function. And for seniors already taking medications, these foods can interfere with how effectively those medications work. But I've been eating these foods my whole life. I hear this all the time. And you're right, you have. But your 70-year-old body processes these compounds differently than your 30-year-old body did. Your detoxification systems slow down. Your inflammatory responses become more sensitive. Your digestive enzymes decrease. This means that foods that never bothered you before can suddenly become problematic. Next, let's talk about industrially raised red meat, especially when served rare. As we age, our stomach acid production naturally decreases, making it harder to break down dense proteins. Undercooked meat not only presents digestion challenges, but also carries higher risk of foodborne illness, something seniors are more vulnerable to due to naturally declining immune function. Beyond digestion, conventional red meat contains high levels of arachidonic acid, which can fuel inflammatory responses in the body. For seniors already managing arthritis, cardiovascular issues, or cognitive concerns, this added inflammatory burden can worsen symptoms you're already working hard to manage. The third category requires some nuance: charred or high-temperature cooked meats. When protein-rich foods are cooked at very high temperatures, like grilling, broiling, or frying, they produce compounds called heterocyclic amines, HCAs, and polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, PAHs. These compounds have been linked to increased oxidative stress, essentially accelerating the aging process at the cellular level. For seniors whose natural antioxidant defenses are already declining with age, these compounds can be particularly problematic. They don't just affect cancer risk, they impact day-to-day energy, cognitive function, and how quickly your body recovers from stress or illness. Does this mean you can never enjoy a burger again? Absolutely not. It's about awareness and moderation. It's about cooking methods and sourcing. And most importantly, it's about balancing these occasional choices with proteins that actively support your aging body rather than challenge it. Now for the good news. There are protein sources that can actually support your body's changing needs after 65. These aren't exotic superfoods that cost a fortune. They're accessible options that can make a remarkable difference in how you feel. Let's start with cold water fatty fish, particularly wild-caught salmon. What makes salmon so valuable for seniors? It's the unique combination of high-quality protein and omega-3 fatty acids, specifically EPA and DHA. These compounds aren't just good for your heart, they're critical for brain health, helping to maintain cognitive function and potentially slow age-related decline. Studies from Harvard Medical School suggest that regular consumption of omega-3 rich fish is associated with less brain shrinkage, a common marker of aging. For seniors concerned about memory and staying sharp, this is significant. But salmon offers more than brain benefits. Its anti-inflammatory properties can help ease joint pain, support eye health, and even improve mood stability, addressing multiple age-related concerns with one delicious food. The key is choosing wild-caught whenever possible. Farm-raised salmon typically contains fewer omega-3s and more potential contaminants. Yes, it might cost a bit more, but consider it an investment in your health that pays dividends with every bite. Next on our list, pasture-raised poultry, particularly chicken. As we age, maintaining muscle mass becomes increasingly challenging, yet critically important for independence and mobility. Chicken provides lean, complete protein that's easier to digest than red meat, making it ideal for seniors experiencing any digestive changes. But there's a world of difference between factory-farmed and pasture-raised poultry. Chickens allowed to roam and eat their natural diet produce meat with better fat profiles, higher vitamin content, and fewer inflammatory compounds. They're also less likely to be treated with antibiotics and hormones that can disrupt our own delicate hormonal balance, particularly important as we navigate the hormonal changes that come with aging. Perhaps the most overlooked protein powerhouse for seniors is organ meat, particularly liver from grass-fed animals. I know, liver isn't everyone's favorite. But consider this. Just one serving of beef liver contains more vitamin B12, iron, zinc, and vitamin A than almost any other food on the planet. These nutrients directly address common deficiencies in seniors that can manifest as fatigue, weakened immunity, and cognitive changes. B12 deserves special mention here. Up to 30% of people over 50 have atrophic gastritis, which reduces B12 absorption from food. This deficiency can cause symptoms often mistakenly attributed to just getting older: memory problems, balance issues, tingling in extremities, and profound fatigue. Liver provides this critical nutrient in its most bioavailable form. Don't like the taste of liver? Start with small amounts blended into ground meat dishes, or try milder versions like chicken liver pâté. The nutritional benefits are worth the culinary adventure. These three protein sources, wild salmon, pasture-raised poultry, and occasional organ meats, create a powerful foundation for senior nutrition. They provide not just protein, but the specific nutrients that become more crucial as we age. Now, I'm not suggesting you need to completely overhaul your diet overnight. Sustainable change happens gradually. So let's talk about practical ways to shift your protein choices without feeling deprived or overwhelmed. Start with the 2-for-1 method. For every 2 meals that currently include processed meats or conventionally raised red meat, substitute one with a more supportive protein choice. Maybe that's wild salmon on Monday and Thursday, while still enjoying your usual choices other days. This gentle transition gives your taste buds and cooking habits time to adjust. Next, consider preparation methods that maximize benefits while minimizing potential harm. For example, if you do enjoy red meat, marinating it first in antioxidant-rich ingredients like rosemary, garlic, or citrus can reduce the formation of those problematic compounds we discussed earlier by up to 90%. Lower cooking temperatures and avoiding charring also make a significant difference. What about budget concerns? Quality protein can indeed cost more. But there are strategies to make it work on any budget. Canned wild salmon is significantly less expensive than fresh, while retaining most nutritional benefits. Buying direct from local farmers or joining a meat CSA can reduce costs while improving quality. And incorporating more plant-based proteins like lentils and beans alongside smaller portions of high-quality animal proteins can stretch your food dollar without sacrificing nutrition. Let's talk about the social aspect of eating too. Food is about more than nutrition. It's about connection and pleasure. If your Sunday family breakfast has always centered around bacon, or your social group meets regularly for steaks, dramatic dietary changes can feel isolating. Instead of avoiding these gatherings, consider moderation strategies. Perhaps enjoy a small portion of bacon alongside a vegetable-rich omelette, or share a steak with your spouse while loading up on antioxidant-rich sides. Supplements deserve mention here as well. While whole foods should always be the foundation, targeted supplements can help bridge nutritional gaps, especially for seniors. Digestive enzymes can help you better break down and absorb protein. Omega-3 supplements can complement your intake from fish. And probiotics can support gut health, which becomes increasingly important for protein utilization as we age. Remember that hydration plays a crucial role in protein metabolism. Many seniors are chronically dehydrated, which can impair digestion and increase the negative impacts of less optimal protein choices. Aim for at least 64 ounces of water daily, more if you're active or live in a hot climate. Finally, consider working with a nutritionist who specializes in senior health. Everyone's body is different, and factors like medications, existing health conditions, and genetic background all influence how specific proteins affect your individual system. A personalized approach, while initially more time-consuming, often yields the best results. The goal isn't perfection, it's progress. Small, consistent changes to your protein choices can yield remarkable improvements in how you feel, often within just a few weeks. While we've focused on protein choices, it's important to place this information in the context of overall wellness. Nutrition is powerful, but it works synergistically with other lifestyle factors to support vibrant aging. Movement matters enormously. Regular physical activity, particularly strength training, enhances your body's ability to utilize protein effectively for muscle maintenance. Even 10 to 15 minutes of resistance exercise before a protein-rich meal can improve how your body directs those amino acids toward muscle preservation rather than storage. Sleep quality directly impacts how your body processes everything you eat. During deep sleep, your cells repair damage, your brain clears waste products, and your hormones reset. Poor sleep can undermine even the best dietary choices. If you're making positive changes to your protein intake but still struggling with energy or inflammation, examining your sleep habits might reveal the missing piece. Stress management cannot be overlooked. Chronic stress increases inflammation and oxidative damage, the very processes we're trying to minimize with better protein choices. Simple practices like daily deep breathing, nature walks, or mindfulness meditation can significantly reduce stress hormones that would otherwise counteract your nutritional efforts. Community connection deserves special mention. Research consistently shows that seniors who maintain strong social bonds experience better health outcomes across all measures. Sharing meals with others not only provides emotional nourishment, but also tends to result in more nutritious food choices and better digestion. Consider joining a cooking club, organizing potlucks with health-minded friends, or simply making mealtime a more social experience. What about those times when perfect eating isn't possible? Travel, holidays, or dining out can present challenges. Rather than stress about perfection, which ironically can be worse for your health than the occasional suboptimal meal, Focus on the strategies that give you the most benefit with the least effort. For example, taking a digestive enzyme before a restaurant meal, choosing the fish option when available, or simply being mindful of portion sizes can go a long way. As we wrap up, I want to emphasize something crucial. Your relationship with food should bring you joy, not anxiety. The information I've shared isn't about restriction or fear. It's about empowerment. It's about understanding how your unique body at this stage of life interacts with different proteins and making choices that support the active, vibrant life you deserve to lead. Remember that nutrition science is constantly evolving, and recommendations change as we learn more. Stay curious, keep learning, and most importantly, listen to your body. It often tells us what it needs if we pay attention to how different foods make us feel. The choices you make today matter. Not just for some distant future health outcome, but for how you'll feel tomorrow morning when you wake up. For the energy you'll have to play with grandchildren or pursue your passions. For the clarity of mind that allows you to fully engage with this precious chapter of life. What protein will you choose for your next meal? Your body is waiting for your decision and ready to respond with either gratitude or complaint. The power is literally on your plate.